Okay, guys, once again, welcome back. This is my name is Jimmy, and thank you for joining me. And in this tutorial, this is what we are going to build. This is a login system. You register and log in. Also, the user will receive an activation link. We will ask the user to go to their email address and click on the link to activate their account. Okay, and then go back to the website. Okay, to log in and continue to do everything. So let me show you how this work. Okay, this is the registration. This is the register page or the registration page. If you click on already a member, you click on login. This is the login page. If you forgot your password, okay, and you click on forgot, this is the reset password page, reset link. You put your password and you receive the activation link straight to the to your email. Okay, I'll go back to the, okay, this is the, let me register. Let me show you how this work. Let me register. I put a Jimdel. Okay, I put a Jimdel-Edu. Just okay. First, let me show you my phpmailer. This is the field. This is the number of column. I got 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got member ID, username, password, email active, reset token, reset complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7. Okay, and this is yeah. And let me show you one more thing. Let me show you my email address. This is I open it, my Gmail. Also, as you can see, there is nothing new here. Okay, there's nothing new, as you can see. There's nothing new. Okay, okay. Now let's go. Okay, I put my, let me take this out. They asked me to enter my username. I put my username. They asked me to enter my password, my email address. Okay, enter my email address. They asked me to enter my password. Okay, what if I put something else? What the first box I put something, and the second confirm password I put something. Now I click on register. What it says, the password do not match. Okay, and let me put the correct password. Okay, now I click on register. It's working. Okay, now, okay, this is what I got in green. Registration successful. Please check your email. Please check your email to activate your account. Before I check my email, let me go back to phpmailer, and as you can see, there is nothing yet. And I refresh the page. When I refresh the page, I one who are affected. As you can see, this is username. This is the username that I put. Okay, this is my email address. This is my password. I hashed this one. You cannot know. You cannot see my password for security purposes. Also, this is my email address. This is the active. This is the active code. This is the active code. Also, reset token. There is nothing here, and reset complete, nothing. Okay, now let me go, and because they asked me to check my email to activate my account. Let me check my email. Okay, when I click on, okay, I click on refresh. Okay, as you can see, this is me. This is, I received one. This is the email that I just received. As you can check the time. If you check the time here, now 11:30, 9:30. By the time I send it, it was 11:34. Now got 36. Okay, when I click on it, this is what I have. Let me extend this a little bit. As you can see, this is my email address. Okay, and if I click here, as you can see, this is the date, time, and so on. Okay, now I said thank you for registering at Jimdel-Edu. Also, they said to activate your account, please click on this link. Okay, regard site admin. When I click on this link, also if I check at the active link, if I go back to phpmailer, and as you can see, the active link starts with D0CDB8, and when I check go to my email address. As you can see, it's a D0CDB8. You can see the same thing. Also, let me click on it. Okay, when I click on it, I can continue on the same. I can continue on this one. Okay, if you want, or I can copy this just to stay and paste it over here. I wanna stay on the same page. Okay, I click it. I'm going over here, or I can leave it on this one. That this is the same thing. Okay, but now they ask me to, your account is now activate. You may now log in. Let me log in. Remember, my username is Jimdel-Edu. Okay, let me put Jimdel-Edu. Now I ask me to enter my password. Let me enter my password, and I click on login. Now, as you can see, this is the member page. Okay, this is the welcome Jimdel-Edu, and this is the logout. Now, once the user or the customer, once the user log in, now you have access. You have plenty access to the website. Okay, now this is the login. This is for a demo, guys. You can, when you code, you got everything. You got all this login system, and you put this on your website, and this will work fine, because I test this one on live server, and this work fine. Okay, when I click on logout and bring me back to the register page. Okay, when I refresh this, when I refresh the page, as you can see, remember that before I've showed you for the active, you got the code. Now, because I log in, you say active, yes. Okay, now what if I forgot my password? Okay, what if I forgot my password? Okay, if I want to log in, remember, I want to log in. Okay, this is the login page. As you can see, let me show you. This is a register page. This is a login page. This is the forgot password for the reset link. Okay, let me go back and log in. This is a login page. If I forgot my password and I enter my username, and I forgot my password, what if I put something? And I click on login. They say wrong username or password, or account has not been activated, and I forgot my password. Now I have to click on forgot your password. You click on this link, and I put my password, and I put they asked me to put my email address. Let me put my email address. Okay, I put my email address, and I click on send reset link. Okay, now it tells me to please check your inbox for a reset link. Okay, now before I check my inbox, my email address, let me go to my PHP admin. Remember, you say active, yes, reset token, nothing, and reset complete, no, nothing. And then let me refresh it for you. Okay, as you can see, let me increase this a little bit. I think this is fine now. Okay, and when I refresh it, for the reset token, I have a code, but for the reset complete, nothing yet. Okay, I have a code. Okay, now right here, then please check my email. Let me check my email address. Go to where's my email? Okay, my email address is over here, and let me go to my email address and go to my inbox. And as you can see, this is me, and this is a password reset. Okay, when I click on it, it says someone requested that the password must be reset, something like that. If this was a mistake, just ignore this email and nothing will happen. And then next, I said to reset your password, visit the following address. Now, as you can see, this is the key right here. As you can see, key equal 6D42. If you check here, the key might be different from this one. That's 6EA. Go to my email. Go to my email. Yes. Okay. Now they asked me to reset my password. I have to click on this link. When I click on this link, I click on it. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is the page where to reset my password. Now they say password change. They ask me to a new password. Let me put a new password. Okay, I'm going to put let me see. I'm going to put okay. I put 4. Now I click on change password. Now they said password change. You may now log in. Okay, you may now log in. Maybe I don't need this. Okay, this page. Let me go back. Or okay, let me show you something. Now I'm going to refresh this page. When I refresh it, as you can see, I have reset complete. Yes. Remember before nothing. Now reset complete. Yes. And now they ask me to log in. Okay. Now let me log in. Username. Remember, this is my username, password. This is my new password, and I click on login. As you can see, everything works fine. Log out, fine. Okay, now let's go to our code editor. Okay, and let me bring this back pretty much to normal. Okay, let me keep it here. Also, I don't need this. Let me cut this, open a new page. Let me cut this one. Okay, and let me go to our code editor. What if I use, okay guys, let's go. I have my code editor open, this which is Atom. Now let me show you this. My main folder called, I name it login or dash register. This is my main folder. Okay, this is my main folder, and the first folder that I create is classes. I create a folder called classes, and inside of classes I create another folder called phpmailer. Okay, and inside of phpmailer, let me expand. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 files. Okay, inside of phpmailer I have 5 files. Okay, but what I'm going to do, I'm not going to code all of this one. Okay, what I want you to do, I will post this link. Okay, I will post this link in the description below, and you have to go there and click on more, and to click on this link and to download this folder, the folder called phpmailer. This is the PHP. I put it phpmailer folder. Okay, this is the folder called phpmailer folder. Okay, and put it this way. Which is like this. Okay, this is a phpmailer folder. Okay, but this is it. Let me show you right here. Inside, you create your main folder, and you create a folder called class inside of your main folder, and inside of the class folder you create a folder called phpmailer. But you will get access to download it straight from this link. I will put this link once again in the description below. Okay, click on it, download this folder, phpmailer. Okay, download this phpmailer, because inside it are 5 files. Okay, and you put it inside of a class folder. Okay, let's go, guys. Remember, okay, this is the first folder, classes. Okay, now the first file, this is my main folder called login register. I click on new file. I'm going to call it index.php, and I click on enter. Let me put this more so that you can see. Okay, now I'm going to create the container. Remember, we're working on this. Oops. Okay, this is what we're working on. This is that we're building right now. Let me make the form, everything. Okay, now I'm creating the container. I'm creating a div. I'm creating a div class. Okay. Now, I'm creating a class, a div. I'm going to call it container. Okay, and inside of it, I'm creating another div called. I'm creating another div class. I call it wall. Okay. And inside of this one, I create another div, the class for colon. Now I'm creating the form, okay, the style of the style of the register and login page. Okay. Now on XS12 for the length, call dash SM8, call MD6 space, this is called SM offset, okay, 2, call MD offset 3, okay. That should be okay now. Okay, now, and inside of this div that I'm working on now, I'm creating the form. I said form. Oh, sorry, let me go back and go to edit and undo. Okay, I'm creating a form. No, let me start from here. I'm creating a form. Now, there is no class. I'm not going to create a class inside of the form, which means we don't need this. But for the action, we don't need anything for action. Leave it blank. For the method post, which is fine. And I need a wall form. And I go next. I say autocomplete. Okay, I got it right here. I say autocomplete off. Okay. And inside of this form, I'm creating header H2. This is header, and this is where I said please, okay, sign up. I said please sign up. This is where, remember, this is where I say please sign up, okay? Because now this is a Google, this is a Chrome, but we're working on this is it. I'll use Firefox. Okay. Please sign up. Now create a phrase. I put P. This is where I said already a member. Question. This is a question mark. And I put a anchor tag. I created anchor. Oops. I created anchor tag inside of it. Oops. This is space. Oh, come on, go back to edit. Undo. Create. Okay. Init space, anchor tag. Okay, this is it. I create an anchor tag. href. We are going to pass to the login page. This, oh, come on. I say login.php inside of it. Okay, and then this is where I put login. Okay. All right. Okay, now, if you want to test something, we go to Firefox and put localhost, and I have a folder called login dash or hyphen register. And this is where I'm going to put index.php. As you can see, you probably not see anything yet. Okay. Okay, now. Why? Because we have to save. As you can see, this we got the blue. When you see the blue here, that's when we have to save the program. Save all and go back refresh. As you can, we have something going. Okay, go back now. Oh, and then after that, guys, I'm going to create inside of this form, I'm going to create a break, a line. To create a line, you put a HR, okay? You put HR, which is a line. You can test it and go back to our Firefox and refresh it. This is the line. Okay. Next, after that, create a space. Now, I'm going to apply a PHP code. I said PHP. Okay. And inside of this PHP, I'm going to pass the error message straight. Or I can put put some notes for you if you want. Check for any error message. Okay. And I'm going to say if set error, that use a $ error. Okay. And I'm going to put my code here. I'm going to use a for each loop. Now for each error, okay, for each error as errors, we don't use key. I prefer error, and then we don't need the rest of this. We keep it like this, and inside of it, let me pass my code inside of it, and we have to echo the error. Echo space single quote, and I use a P. Okay, let me put it this way. Okay, let me put it this way. Okay, now inside of the first one, let me put close so that you can see. I use a class. Oops. No, that's not I wanted. Okay. I use a class. I say class equal db dash danger for the message. Okay. And I'm going to use, follow me guys, I'm going to use a single quote here, and I'm going to use a $sign error. This is where I display, I pass the error inside of it. And I put another, and I use another dot. Also, and I have the this is the opening P, the closing, and I use a semicolon at the end. Okay. Now let me continue after that. Follow me after the second. Okay. Now I can pass a message if action is joined. Okay, if action is joined, I want to see success. Show success. And then for this reason, I'm going to say if set. Okay. At this time, I have to use $_ underscore get bracket single quote, and I call action. Okay, let me go up a little bit. Okay, I call action, and after that, let me follow me, bracket parentheses. After the first parentheses, I have to say, follow me, after the first parentheses, I create a space, and I put concatenate, okay, %, and I call $ get, again, bracket single quote, action, again. At this time, I'm going after the bracket, I create a space, equal, single quote, join. I use the join. Okay. Put this close. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do next, this is where I'm going to pass my code. Now, what I'm going to say inside of it, I have to echo the message, the success message. When the user is after registering, okay, I have to echo the message. I'm going to say echo, okay, H2. I'm going to put it on bold, H2. Before that, I need this. Let's go. I say H2. I create a class, okay, equal single quote, okay, that BG, and for success, okay, and I have to close it. This is open and this is close. And remember, I have for the success, remember I have to put it after the single quote. I have to close it, yes, after the single quote. Also keep the double quote. Oh, oops. Keep it like this. Yeah, the double quote here. Okay. Let me do it like this so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, keep it like this. Also put it pretty much close. Yes, guys, let's go. And after that, I'm going to say registration success full, and I do just say please check your email to activate your account, period. Now I have to close H2 to close it, do it like this, and you put semicolon at the end. You already have it, and go back to the next line. Okay, now we're done. This is done. Let me keep this a little bit closer. Also the closing PHP, keep it closer, and then after that, inside of the same form, okay, inside of the same form, I'm going to create a div. I create a div, okay, and I pass a class called form group. Okay, I pass a class called form group. This is where I say input type text, name, I say username, okay. I don't use yeah, we keep let's keep value, and after I have to work with values, and I use an ID. I have to, and then I say ID equal, let me put this space, let me show you what I'm doing. Okay, for the ID I use username, and I pass a class, and I pass a class here. I call the class form control. Form control input, okay. Form control input left. Okay. Now this is value, okay. Now I'm going to pass a, for the placeholder, I use a placeholder where I put username. You can put it 2 words, 1 word, it's up to you. Okay. Now for value, I'm going to use a PHP inside of value, inside of the double quote. Inside of this double quote, let me put it this way for you so that you can see what I'm doing. Make it a little bit smaller, and I can do this, okay. Now inside of value, I'm going to say PHP, okay, and I say if, okay, after if, I say if is set, and then after that I have to call the error in case something happened. If is set, I call error. That's Okay, if it set error, okay, now I have to echo. This is where I'm going to put my code. Okay, follow me, guys. This is where I'm going to put my code here. If it set error, echo, okay, the string, HTML special characters. I use HTML. This is a special character. Okay, right here, and I have to use post. The post method bracket single quote, and this is where I call username. And after the bracket, I use a comma space, and this is where I end the quote. I'm going to say it, and underscore quote. Okay, and I put a semicolon, and after at the end. Remember, we got 2. We're supposed to get. Yeah, I'm going to keep it because we already got it. Yeah, the semicolon at the end. If you want, we can keep it. This is remember, this is a PHP. This is a PHP. Okay, maybe something. Let me show you guys something. Okay, we need double quote. It's a double quote. Placeholder. Okay, for values, the double quote start after value equal double quote, and then we pass the PHP inside of double quote of the after value, after the equals sign, and then we say equal HTML special cars. Also, we don't need this. We don't need this double quote. We don't need this one. Also, we can move this up. Okay, if you move this up, I think this is fine. Okay, comma semicolon. Okay, we close it here. We open it. It's open from here. Close here. Also, this is where PHP close the double quote or the value, the second double quote. Okay, and yeah, this is it. And next, after that, after the closing double quote, we use a tab index equal 1, and then this is it for the first part. Okay, now this is the div, closing div. Okay, let me keep this close. Okay, also now we need another one, another div. Okay, we can copy this one and paste it after. Paste it after. Also, class from group, we keep the same thing. At this time, we need the first one we need a type text. Not the first one. The second time we need a type email. Type email, name, not username. Name, email. Okay. Name, email. ID. Let ID email. Class form control input, everything looks fine. Placeholder, not username. Placeholder should be okay. Placeholder, we put email space email address. For value, we keep the same thing. Okay, same thing. Inside here, we put email. Also, for tab index, we put 2. Okay, now we can let's save the program. As you can see, save all, and we go back and refresh the page to see what we're working on. Right now, we can see we got the username and the email address. Let's go back. Okay, now this div, we can go after that. We can also do the same thing for password. For password, let's create a div. Okay, I'm going to pass a class called row for password, and inside of it, I'm creating another div. Okay, where I use where I'm looking for something. Okay, I say core xs6 space core sm6. Okay, and for colon md6. Okay, now I'm going to use the div now. Okay, for inside of the class, I'm going to call this class same thing. This form. This no, not form control. I'm going to call it form group. Let me go up a little bit. Form group, and inside of it, I'm going to say input type password at this time. Name password. Name password. No value. We don't need values. And after I'm going to use an ID. Oops, use not this. I'm going to use ID. Okay, ID password. Also, I need the class. I'm going to pass a class inside of it. Call it form class form control and input. Okay. And after that, I'm going to use a placeholder. I'm going to put password. And next, after that, I use a table index equal 3, the third one, and click on, and you save all, save everything, and go back, refresh the page. As you can see, got the third one. Okay, let's continue, guys. Remember, this is a step-by-step tutorial. I want you to, this is the word, this is the this for this for this. Okay, let's continue. Now next I want the, okay, this, let me keep this a little bit. I like when I keep them. This for this, can do this, keep it closer. Okay, now inside of row we need, remember this is for password, we need a confirm password. I can copy this. Okay, I copy this and go next and paste this. I paste it over here. This for row. Okay, now I'm going to change this. I'm going to keep everything here from group. It's okay. Also input type password name. At this time I'm going to say password confirm. Okay, password confirm. For ID, I'm going to do the same thing, capital C, password confirm. Class, everything same thing, but at the end, tab index, we put 4. Okay. Now, let's go. I think pretty much this is done. And after that, I could put one more space. I'm going to create the submit button. Let me put this closer. I'm going to create the submit button after that. Okay, this is for OK class 4. I'm going to space. I'm going to create a div inside of the class. I call it the row for this is for this is for submit button. That's why I create a space, and it should be different from those on top. Okay, now I create another div inside of this one, and I pass a class, or I can copy this. Okay, I can copy this and paste it inside of here. Okay, and inside of this div, I'm going to say input type. At this time, I'm going to say input type submit. Input type submit. Name should be submit. Let me go up. Name submit. For value, okay, value has to be register capital. Oh, register. Also, I need a class. I pass a class called btn space btn, that's primary. Okay, btn space. Also, I use block btn. Okay, and I'm going to say tab index 5 and close. Okay, this is closing div. Keep it closer. Okay, now I think pretty much this is pretty much this is done. This is the form done. You can keep this, keep those closer. Okay, this is the last div. This is for the container. Okay, now what I'm going to do after this div, this is the div container. After the container, this one, I'm going to say space. I applied PHP here. This is where I call the footer. But for the footer and PHP, I say I'm going to say I use a require single quote. That's why I'm going to create a folder called I'm going to call the folder layout / I create folder.php, and I put a semicolon here, and now I can save everything. I said save all. If you go back and refresh the page, it gives me an error. It says failed to open street no such directory, require layout. See, as you can see, I have a register button, but it said require layout folder because I have to create this folder layout and create footer. That's why I got this error. Let's go back and fix it. Now I go here and main folder, click on right click and click on new folder. I'm going to call this folder layout and click enter. When I open it, okay, this is the folder, and when I right click on this folder and I click on new file, I'm going to put a folder.php and I click enter. Okay, now let's create put our code for the footer so that we don't have to. And then what do we have to put on the footer? This is put the body, the closing body, also the closing HTML. Oops. Okay, and save everything. As you can see, when you refresh it, there is no error. Let's continue. Okay, footer is done. Now let's go back to let's create. If we go back to our code, this is index.php. Now what I want to do, I'm going to create the header page. Okay, for the header, I'm going to add header inside of the layout page. Inside of the layout folder, I have footer.php. This is, I click on right click, new file, and I say header.php, and I click on header. This one I have to save it. Save all, go back and click on header.php. For the header, guys, okay. For the header, this is what we need HTML. I'm going to say HTML. Okay, this is fine. Also, inside of the title, I'm going to use PHP. Okay, and I say if set. Okay, this is where I'm going to call the title. If set title, okay, and this is where I'm going to pass the code, or I'm going to keep it in one line. Okay, if set, I'm going to say equal. For the equal, I don't need a I don't it's not supposed to be a string. Okay, we say title and semicolon, and this is, and that's all. I'm going to create a link. Okay, for the link I'm going to use two links. The first one is at href, where I'm going to pass a style. I'm going to say style. I'm going to create a folder called style and /, and for the CSS I'm going to say main. I'm going to call it main.css. Also for the second link I'm going to create a second one. The second one will be I'm going to use Bootstrap. Okay, but I have it to keep it short, guys. Let me cut this one and paste it over here, and let me do this for you so that you can see it. Okay, this is the bootstrap that I use. As you can see, you can copy, you can code it if you want, just to keep it short. Okay, and I have everything pretty much. Now what I want to do, I have to cut. Remember, for the footer, let me save this one first. Save all. For the footer, let me show you this. For the footer, remember, I put the closing body and the closing HTML. So inside of the footer page, this is why I'm going to cut these two, the closing body and the closing HTML. I don't need these two. I'm going to cut them because I already let me save it. I already put it on inside of the footer page. Let me show you. Right here. Okay. Now save everything and go back and refresh the page. Nothing yet. Let me see if I got everything right. The bootstrap. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Now inside of the let's go back to our index.php. On top I'm going to say PHP. Okay, I'm going to add the code here, the PHP code. Now the first thing, I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to create a folder. I'm in folder. Click on right click. I'm going to create a folder called includes. Okay, and click enter. I click a folder called includes. Inside of includes, I'm going to create config.php, and I click on right click, new file called config.php, and I click on enter. Okay, let's go back to index. Okay, now I said PHP. Okay, I can put it this way if you want. I say required single quote includes / config.php, and I put semicolon, and I save. Okay, let me put something for you. I say if user login, I have to redirect. I have to redirect user to a member page. To member page. So for this reason, I say if member page. I say if, okay, if user login, this is how you do it, is log in parentheses, okay, space. Okay, now I'm going to pass it over here. I'll put our code. I'm going to say header single quote, and then send the user to the location. I call it member page. Okay, member page dot PHP. Okay. Send user to member page.php. And then after that, when I'm done, I put a semicolon and I have to exit the application. Exit. And I have to exit. Semicolon. Okay. Now, next thing I want to do, we go here. I say, now, if when the user submit the form, process it. I say, if form has been submitted, process it. Let me go to edit, undo, process it. Process it. This should be it. Okay. Now for this, I'm going to say if is set. Okay. Then I assign post. Now bracket single quote. When the user click on the submit button, this is where I'm going to pass all my codes. Process it, okay? I say if, now, this is where I say if, not, negation. This is where I'm going to put the error message in case they failed. There is nothing. User has not been posted anything yet. Put username, password, and click on the submit button. This is what's gonna happen. If not post, if the user is not post, let me put this way. If the user is not post, I say $sign. I say post bracket single quote. If there is not post username. Okay. Also, after the closing, let me show you. Here, I'm going to call the error message. This is where I call error bracket. Okay, and empty and equal. This is the message. I say please fill out all field. Okay. Fill out all field. If, okay, let me, if for submit, this is it right here. We don't need this. Okay, follow me, guys. We don't need this. We should get a semicolon because we already got the if. We set it. Everything will be processed inside of the submit button. This is what we should get. Only one. Okay, and we can copy this and paste it over here, and we need another one, and we can start to replace everything. We have username, email, please, okay, and then we have password. Okay. Now let's go one more space. Now, if username equal username, if username post the username user entered equal the username, okay, inside of the database. Let me say it this way. Post bracket single quote username semicolon. Now if username equal username, now I have to verify now check for the validation. I have to validate everything. Now let me put this for you. This is the very basic validation. Now I'm going to say if, okay, let me go up a little bit. let me go here. If not, should get data sign user. Okay, if user is not valid username, if it's not the valid username for the user, okay, put username. Now I have to call the error message. I have to call the error. I say error, okay, equal space, single quote, usernames must be at least 3 alpha numeric. This is should be character, and then put semicolon. Okay. Else I'm going to call else I'm going to use the statement STMT, stand for statement, okay, equal, the statement equal DB, the database. I have to prepare that, and now I'll go to if, okay, the user, if this is not validated, but they say, okay, username must be at least 3 alphanumeric character, but else the statement, you have to go to the database and prepare, said select username from the table I will create later, okay, and I use select username from our table or in the database. I will create our database later. I'll call it let me see, I have to call it, let me call it members. I call it members where username equal username, and then now I put a semicolon. Okay. Also, next statement. Now, every time you prepare something, you have to execute it. Statement execute array, okay, single quote, username, and then after that you go to username, okay, and put a semicolon at the end. Now I have to go to the row that will be affected. I say row equal statement. Now I have to fetch, I have to check, look for everything inside of this array where the username has been placed. Okay, I say statement fetch, okay, PDO fetch association, okay, semicolon. Next line, I'm going to say if not empty. We need that. If the row is not empty, and now after you execute, you fetch, you find the username. If the row is not empty, that's why I'm going to put a row bracket semicolon where it is, you find the username inside the database user name, okay, error message, bracket, space equal, single quote, username provided. In case, like, when the username enters something and then you re-enter it again, you got the same username. You cannot allow you cannot allow the user to or you cannot allow two username, inside of the database, or two email or two to email address. You have to let the user know. Username provided is already in use. Okay, this is the message. Semicolon. Okay. Now, guys, let's continue. Now, space for the length. Now, length of the password. For this, I'm going to say. Remember, I skipped these two, and after that, okay, this is for else. Okay. Now, I'm going to say if. That's for the length. If the string length, okay, that posted, called the post, bracket semicolon for the password. So if the length of the password, okay, should, let me show you, space. The length of the password should not be inferior to 3. Okay. Let me put this like this. But for the error message, what I'm going to say, password is too short. If the length, in essence, like put something that 3 words too short, the error message I'm going to add and say, I'm going to say error, okay, bracket, space, equal, single quote. I'm going to say password. Password is too short. And semicolon. Now, this is done. Okay. Now, one more space. Okay, what if the length is inferior to 3, but it should be greater than 3? I'm going to say if, okay, string length that posted, post, bracket single quote, or the password, okay. Now, oh no, I did for the password. Now I have to do it for the confirm, password confirm, because I have a password. If I go down, let me show you. Because I have password, name password, also I have password confirm. Yes, and then let's go up and continue. I did for password, and I have to do it for password confirm. Same thing, password confirm, and put less than 3. Okay, put it like this way, and pass our error message. I say error, okay, equal single quote, confirm, password is too short, and put a semicolon. Okay, this is done. Now, what if, let me say if, one more if, post, okay, if the password is not matched with the password confirm, like you enter your password and then they ask you to confirm the password, enter twice, the second time. Now if they do not the same, this is what I'm doing right now. If post, okay, if post, bracket single quote, if post password, and space not equal, this is how I do it, not equal to the password that you post, underscore post, okay, bracket single quote. It's not equal to the password confirm right here, and I'm going to call the error message. I say error equal space single quote. I say password, it should be capital P. Okay. I say passwords with an S do not match. Okay. And put a semicolon at the end. Okay, this part is done. Okay. Now I'm going to do it straight space. I'm going to go straight at our email validation. I'm going to add the message for you, enter email email validation. I'm going to say email and HTML. This is a special, yeah, this is a special character. I'm going to use decode, okay, and use this is the post method, and call email, and after that I put on comma space, and where I use and quote, okay, and after that I put semicolon. Okay, now I say if not, I'm going to use a filter variable. I'm going to use a filter variable email, okay, comma filter validate email. Okay, now let me pass my code here. I'm going to say error message, okay, space equal single quote, and I think to say please enter a valid email address, semicolon, else, in case, okay, else, okay, I'm going to use a statement. Equal db, okay. Now I have to prepare my statement, and after to execute it. This is how you prepare. I'm going to say select email, okay, from. I'm going to select email from, remember, from our table name. I call it, I did not create it yet, but I call it members, from members, where email equal email, and put a semicolon at the end. Okay, guys. Also, I'm going to need another statement. I say statement. Now I have to execute that statement. Execute array. Okay. Execute array.
Carlos.
Statement execute array. Let me see. We don't need. Let me try to put it simple here. Statement execute. A statement execute, and put it this way, array, okay, and we need another parenthesis, single quote, colon, email, okay, and space. This is how you do it, and then you call email. and put a semicolon at the end, and then let's move on. Okay, now for the row, I'm going to check the row, and to check it I have to fetch the row. I'm going to call statement, the same statement, this one. You can copy this one and paste it over here. I'm going to say statement, okay, fetch it for me, and PDO fetch association, and put a semicolon. Okay, now space. What if, I'm going to say if I'm going to say if not empty, if the row is not empty, that the row email. Now I'm going to say bracket single quote, put email. If the row email is not empty, I'm going to say call email. If the row email is not empty, that means there's another email, and the user entered the same email address, and you have to let the user know the user should use a different email address. That's why I'm going to call error message. I'm going to call error message, say error equal, okay, single quote, and let me say email provided is already in use. Okay, and put a semicolon and save everything, save all. Okay, next part, guys, and save everything. Next part, okay, space. This is what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to check if no errors have been created. Carry on, and I can write this down for you. If no errors have been created, carry on. Okay, now I'm going to say if insert $sign error. This is where I'm going to pass all of my code. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hash the password. I'm going to hash the password. I'm going to say $sign hash password equal user password hash. Okay, the password that the user, I'm going to call post bracket single quote password, and after that I put a comma, space, I say password underscore decrypt. Okay, and put a semicolon at the end. Space. Let me go up a little bit. Next thing I want to do now, I want to create the activation code. I'm going to say, let me write it down for you. Create the activation. Create the activation code. Okay. Create the activation code. Let me see. I have a lot of things. Activation code space. Okay. Now for this reason, I'm going to say $sign active. $sign. I'm going to say activation equal MD5. Okay, this is how you created it. Unique ID. Okay, parentheses, random. It's a random number and should be true, comma, true, and put semicolon. Okay. Next, I'm going to create a try-catch block. The first, for the try, I'm going to put something. This is where I'm going to insert into a database with a prepared statement. Okay. For this reason, I'm going to use statement. I'm going to use as a statement $db prepared single quote insert into our table name. I'm going to create later member. The first value is username, password, email, also active. The values okay, the values is username, password, email, and active. Also put a semicolon here. Let's go back. Okay. Now I can put it this way so that you can see. Okay. And I go here. Now I'm going to say statement. Now I have to execute it. Statement execute array. Okay. Statement execute array. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to say, and then put it like this. Single quote. The first thing you do, put a single quote, colon, username, okay, and space, $, username, comma, put a single quote also, colon, password, space, this is the hash, password, hash, single, comma, single quote, colon, I put email, space, put email, comma, single quote, put colon, active, okay. Now put space, put activation, okay, and put the semicolon over here. Put the semicolon over here, and then you can save the program. And then after that, I'm going to use an ID. No, I should wait. $sign ID equal DB. This is DB. Okay, yes, DB last insert ID for the member ID. DB I use on last insert ID and single quote for the member ID and put a semicolon. Okay. And after that, After that, we continue with a space. Now this is where we're going to send the email. Remember, as I'm working on this page, I'm going to add everything that I know I need. I'm going to put this is a send email. Send email. Okay. For the send email, this is the format. Let me show you the format. I'm going to say $mail. Remember, I told you before where you should download this folder, the PHP folder, and this is the link. I will put the link in the description. You can go to more, click on more, and you will download to get the PHP mailer folder. You have to place it inside of the class folder. Let me show you class folder, and because inside of the PHP mailer, if you open it, when you open it, you got you have five files. You got exception, .php, mail.php, phpmail.php, pops, and then smtp. Okay. Now let's continue. This is a send mail. We have put it this way. Have mail space equal new mail. Okay. Semicolon. Also I have mail. Set form, the mail form site mail. Okay. Put comma. Mail. Okay. This is for the address. To. This is address it. Put a semicolon. Mail. Okay. Now for the subject. For the subject, I say subject $. Okay. Semicolon. Mail. Okay. Mail body. Semicolon. Now mail send. Okay. Put send. This one should be empty. Okay. This is for our send mail done. We're not done yet. Now, for the redirect the user to the index page. This is what I say. Redirect to index page. Oh, we have this page space. Okay. Let me go up. Next, redirect user to the index page. I'm going to say header. Parenthesis single quote using the location comma index.php. Okay. Also for the action equal join. Okay. Put a semicolon. And then when you're done, once you're done, you say exit. Else if. I'm going to say else for the catch the else will catch the exception and show the show the error. Okay. Now, this is where I'm going to use the catch block. Okay. I'm going to say catch PDO. Okay. Exception. A. And then this is where I'm going to pass my code. Here. I'm going to say $, error. Okay. space equal, take this value, copy this, put it, paste it over here, and I'll say get message. Get message. Okay, save everything. Okay, let's continue, guys. Now let me go bring this up. This one is the end of form process. Let me look for it. I have to find it. This one, I'm looking for I'm looking. Okay, this, yes, this is form process. Okay, this one is end of form process. Okay, now I'm going to define, okay, the page title. I'm going to define the page title. For this reason, I'm going to say $sign title equal single quote. This is how you put your page title. You can put anything you want. I'm going to put input login. I'm going to put login system. Okay, that's fine. Now let me put something here. Now I'm going to include the header template. I think, guys, that the comment will help you out. That's why I put the comment for you. Okay, to add the header template, this is header template. Okay, add the header. This is how I did. I'm going to say required. Okay. Oops. Let me go back. This is how you say required for the header template. Remember, I have the folder called includes, and this is where I have no, not includes. I have the folder called layout. This is where I have my header. Okay, and this is where I'm going to say. I'm going to say layout. I called the folder and a / this is the folder that I want, header.php. You call it first. I call layout the first one, and call header. Okay, single quote, semicolon, sorry. This is okay. This is done. Okay, guys, this is done. I think we can save everything, save all. I think this index.php is done. Index.php is done. Now let me go and create our database, because remember, let me show you. Remember, we have includes and we have config.php. Also, we have config inside of the include folder. We have config.php. This is it. Let me create that create our database first and create the config.php file. Okay, let's go to our database and create our database, the phpmailer. I'm going to call our database. We can call it anything. For our database, I'm going to call it, for our database, I'm going to call it login. One word, login system. Okay, this is our database name, or I call it login system. One word, or we can call it login_system if you want. It's up to you. Let me call it login system with one word. Let me call it login system with 2 words. Okay, and click on create. Okay, login system. This is it. Login system. For our table, I'm going to call our table members. I call it members. We need a 7. Number of columns should be 7, 5, 6, and 7. We click on go. Okay, and the first one, this we have ID integer 11 auto increment. No, not this one. It should be here. Our primary key. Should be our primary key. And now we need a username voucher 255, the length. Now we need a password. We need the password. Password should be voucher 255, the length. Also, we need email. For email, we need the voucher email 255 as well. Also, we need the active. For the active should be voucher and the 255. We need a reset token. Okay, reset token should be voucher as well. Voucher 255. And last but not least, we need reset. We need a reset complete voucher, and the length is 3. Okay, now we have everything we need: ID, username, password, email, active, reset token, reset complete, 1150. Okay, and now we have to click. Okay, let me. We can go here and click on save. Okay, this is it. Click here or click on save. Okay, now we click on browse. We have ID, username, or instead of username, remember we need a member ID instead of username. Instead of ID, we need a member ID. You can keep ID, but I prefer member ID. We can fix that. Let me see if we go to structure. Let me see. Yes, you can go over here. We go to structure and then you click on change, and we rename it. We put member. I'm going to put. We put member ID. Okay, 11. Okay, that's fine. Then click on save. Now we go back and then click on browse. Okay, member ID, username, password, email active. Okay, now we're fine. Let's go back to our code. Now I can create. Remember, because on index.php we have our config.php. Now we go to config.php. Now let's create our code for config.php. Also, I'm going to say PHP. Okay, on config.php. Okay. Now, call is, I'm going to start a session here. Session start. Now, I'm going to set the time zone. Okay. I'm going to say set time zone. That's why I said dit underscore default underscore time zone underscore set. This is how you set the time zone. And America, you put the time zone where you are. You put America forward slash. If you Japan, China, and so on, Chicago, New York City, and so on, you can put anywhere. And let me put Chicago, and you put semicolon. Okay. Now let me set our database. Put our database credential. Okay. I'm going to use define DB database host, and put a comma space. We don't need space. I put a comma. We use local host. We use a local host, is done, and put a semicolon, next line, and oops, semicolon, next line. I'm going to define. I'm going to define DB user, okay, and put a comma and put a single quote here for user. We say root, and put a semicolon. Now I'm going to say define database password DB. I'm going to say DB pass, comma, single quote, and leave it empty, unless you are going to use it online server. You have to put the server password and so on. Okay, now I'm going to say define at this time DB name, database name. After that, put comma and single quote. Our database name, remember, we use login system, single quote, and I can double check. I can yes, 2 words. Database name say login underscore system. Okay, it's 2 words. This is our database name. Okay, now let me put some. Okay, I'm going to say the for the application address. Okay, I'm going to say define that the direction. Okay, this stands for no single quote first for the direction, and say comma single quote, and say http colon / now we use a local host. Now we are going to put the folder name. Now we are going to put without the folder name we cannot run the application. Okay, and put a folder name called login dash register and / This is when you put you go to localhost and put the folder name. You don't have to put index.php, only put this link. Okay, and then boom, you will see the website or anything. Okay, now next I'm going to say define single quote. I'm going to say define at this time. This is site mail. Put the comma and single quote. At this time should be no reply. Yeah, no reply at domain. No reply at domain.com. Okay. Okay. Now, next I'm going to use a try catch block. I'm going to say try. Okay. Inside of the try, I'm going to I'm going to pass some notes for you. I'm going to say this is where I'm going to create PDO connection, guys. Okay, I'm going to say DB database equal new PDO. Okay, double quote my SQL host equal. This is how you do it, and you put it that you put DB host. Okay, that we need after that we need a double quote, semicolon. This is where we close it, and I'm going to say charset equal UTF-8 MB4 equal. Also I put a semicolon, and I put DB name equal I put a db name equal, and after that go, and this is where I put it that, and this is I call db name comma space, I call db user comma space, I call db password, and I'm done. Put a semicolon. Next line, and okay, I'm going to say db, I'm going to set db set, see, I'm going to set the attribute attribute, and I'm going to say the PDO, okay, for the attribute error mode, comma PDO, okay, error mode exception. Okay, this is done. This is when you're on production, guys. You can comment. You can comment this. You can comment this out. You can comment this out. Okay. Now I'm going to say db also, oops, I'm going to say db set attribute, and this time I'm going to say PDO, okay, no, at this time it's not mode. I'm going to say emulate, yeah, emulate underscore prepares, okay, it should be false. Okay, next, this is where I'm going to use my catch block, guys. Okay, almost done. And after the catch block, I think yeah, I'm going to pass to the next thing. Okay, now I'm going to say, this is where I'm going to show I'm going to show the error message. So I'm going to say equal single quote. For the error message, I say use a P. Let me close it. Just I put it at the same time and go to the first one, saying, and I oops. And this way, go to edit and undo. Go back. I'm going to pass a class called for danger. Okay, for the error message, and remember the single quote should be, cut this one and put the other one right here. Also put the, we're going to put a that and copy this, paste it over here. Oops, I got the same thing. Go to edit, undo, you should get it everything back. Okay, we'll copy this one. Now cut, we copy this and we paste it over here. Okay, okay, let's continue. Now I say get message, get, yeah, we call the get message, and after that put it that, and use a single quote for P. Now this one we can cut it and paste it inside of it, and then put a semicolon at the end. Okay, and now after that, when you're done, we exit. Okay, and put semicolon. Okay, after that, guys, put a space. Now what I'm going to say now, this is where I'm going to include the user class that pass inside of the database. Okay, now I'm going to include the user class, okay, that user class that pass in the data inside of the database connection. Okay, this is where I'm going to say include single quote classes. Remember, I have a folder called classes. Inside of this folder, I have this is where I have the PHP mailer folder. And if you when you open the PHP mailer folder, I have everything that I need to send the email. And I say include classes, and this is where I'm going to call user, and we say /user dot php. I have to create user.php. Okay, and put a semicolon. Also, next include, I'm going to say include a single quote, and I call the classes folder / this is what I call now. I call my PHP mailer folder, and inside of PHP mailer I have my mail file to send email.php. I call it here. And also for the user, I say user equal new user for the attached to the connection database DB, and I put a semicolon. Now I can I create a new save all. Okay. Now this is done for our config.php, guys. Now next thing I want to do is to create user file inside of the classes folder. This is classes. This is our classes folder. I'm create a right click and click on, and I click user.php and click enter. Okay. user.php. Now I'm going to say PHP. Okay. I'm going to say PHP, and I'm going to say include single quote password.php. Now I will need the password.php file. I have to create password.php file, and inside include password.php. Oh, we don't have password.php yet. Password.php will find inside of the class. Password.php will find inside of. I have to go to the classes folder and right click new file and create password.php file. Click on enter. We don't have to use it yet, but okay. Now let's go back to user.php. Include a password.php. Okay. Now I have to create a class. I'm going to say, oops, I don't need it from here. I'm going to say class user extend password. Okay. Now I'm going to say private DB, and then this is where I'm going to create a function. I'm going to create a function construct. Okay. I'm going to pass the DB. Okay. This, I have to extend this, and for the function. Okay. Now, for the parent, I'm going to say construct. Okay. Semicolon. And I have to say $sign this this, yes, this underscore DB. Okay, equal $sign DB, semicolon. Now this part is done. Now I have to say private function get underscore get user hash password. Okay, and I say $sign username. Okay, and I'm going to create a try catch block inside of it. Inside of the try, I'm going to use a statement stm. I'm going to say statement equal $sign this underscore db. Okay, I have to prepare underscore db prepared single quote and select password, comma username, comma member ID from our table name, from our table name members. Okay, where username equal username. Let me call it from here for you and open this. Okay, where username equal username and concatenate and space the active equal yes. The active equal double quote yes. Okay, a single space and I put a semicolon at the end. Okay, now we need another statement. Now we have to execute the statement. Execute array, a single quote, username, okay, $sign username, and we have to return. We need the return value, return statement fetch. Okay, now let's work with our catch block. For the catch, it should be video exception. Okay, and then let equal our message here, single quote, remember P, and for the yes, we said P. The first, remember the first one, and the second P for the closing P should be after the single quote, and put it this way. And inside of the first one, let me pass a class as a class equal bj. That should be bj danger. Okay. We need a double quote for that. Put a double quote here, then inside of a double quote, close single quote, and we put it that, and we put this little guy, copy this one and paste it after that. Okay. Remember that we should get message. We should get message, and after the get message, you get it that. Oops, the closing P, we need the closing P. To put the closing P, you should put it inside of a single quote and close this one. Okay, guys, now I have to bring this up. Okay, and bring this up. Now, and then after that, I have to create a function. I'm going to create a public function I'm going to say public is valid username, is valid username is the function. If for the length, the string length for the username is less than 3, ask to return false. And if the string length, okay, for the username, okay, is at this time is greater than 17, for example, I have to return false. But if, okay, if not at this time, okay, or if not the type of number, the username that we're looking for, okay, now also return false. Okay, this is done. Now I need a public function. I say public function login username, okay, and then password. Now I use a public function. I use a function for a username and password. If
Carlos.
If not, I use this is a valid username. Okay. Username. Now I'm gonna ask you to return false. Return false. Okay. Another if the string length for the password, okay, is less than 3, return false. For the row equal this get user hash, yeah, get user hash username. Okay. Also another if this password verify, the password verify, password and the row bracket single quote password equal 1. Right here, space 1. For this if we put, okay, now this is where I'm going to use the $sign session, okay, bracket single quote login, okay, equal true, session bracket single quote username equal $ war bracket single quote username semicolon session bracket single quote, at this time is a member ID equal war bracket single quote member ID. Okay, put a single quote, a semicolon at the end. Now I have to return false, return everything true at this time, not false, true. Verify. Okay, I have to bring this up and I have to create a public function for logout. Okay, I have to create a public function for logout. I am going to use session destroy for logout. Okay, and this is for the section for public for logout. We need this. Oh, sorry, I did not put this. I put this session inside of it. Cut this and should be inside of the public of this function. Okay, almost done, guys, for this page. Let's go back. Last function, public. We're going to say public. Public function is underscore login. Okay. Public function is login. Now I'm going to say if is set. Okay. If is set. Now I have to grab session here. If is set, if all of this passed, okay, and put it here, paste it. If is set session bracket single quote, the first one is login, okay, and after that I'm going to say in-person session underscore bracket single quote login, okay, equal true. Okay, now I'm going to pass my code here. Okay, I'm going to say return true. Okay, move this up. Let me see, got one here. Okay, now let me verify something. If you return this true, true, we need one is one. Let me see, not parentheses. One bracket is missing. One is missing because if I check, you should get. If I go, this one should be the last for function pass. This is yes. Let me put it this way. If we check this, if you look at this, you see the bar underneath of it. If you're looking for this, yes, this is it. This is the. That's why I like to comment this end of password and save it. If you read, okay, return true if user session login and session login is true, return true. For the logout is okay. Session login, login username member ID return true. This is another function. This one return false. let me see, this finish here, which is good. And for this finish here, I have to return username first. I have to return, yes, I need a return. I have to return this one as true. Yes, return true. Yes, I think that's set for this page. Yes, save everything. Okay guys, next thing I want to do is we have, inside of include, we have config.php. This one, remember, this one is user.php. We find user.php. We find user.php inside of classes, classes folder. We got a full password. Let me show you. We have password and user, password and user inside of. We don't have a password yet. Okay. Okay, user is done. Okay. Next, remember we done user.php. Index.php is done, but inside of the index, now I'm index.php. If you go back to index.php, let me show you something. Now we have send email. We need mail.php. We don't have a mail.php yet. Let me, inside mail.php, remember inside of the classes folder we have phpmailer, and inside of phpmailer we have a inside of the phpmailer we have a 1, 2, 3, 5 files. I'm going to fix something. If you click on, okay, okay guys, this is where I'm going to stop for part 1. This is, we have few files to create for this project. We have reset.php, we have reset password.php. Also, we have mail.php. We have to create mail.php inside of phpmailer. Remember, I told you I'm going to put the link in the description. You have to click on this link and to download the phpmailer with everything inside of this folder, and you will need it. This is because we have login.php, logout, all this file. We need to create them. So this is where I'm going to stop. Once again, thank you. This is a part 1. If you are new in this channel, please, I want you to subscribe to my channel and share my titles, share my videos with people that you know, your friends, everyone. I will be greatly appreciated from you guys. This is where I start. I stop here, then thank you, and see you for part 2 in the next tutorial. All right, thank you. Bye bye.